What's going on, everyone? So, Austin Reaves needs to be better, needs to be more consistent, right? If you looked at just the box score of yesterday's game, you looked at Austin Reaves and you're like, man, he had a great game. Could have done without the 5 turnovers, right? 3-point shooting needs to be better. But man, nearly gave you a triple-double, 26 points, him and Luka. But if you actually watched the game, he wasn't very good. Wasn't very good defensively, right? He was terrible early on and really came alive. I mean, he scored 13 points in the fourth quarter when we were down like 18 and the game's essentially over. Now he starts to come alive. And don't get me wrong, I loved what we saw in that stretch. He was aggressive. There were definitely gems from Austin Reaves. And I thought it was like, man, there he is. There's the guy we need from the beginning. That might have been a very different game if he had that 26 scattered throughout the course of the game rather than in that fourth quarter when you're already down 18, right? Because if he has that early start and he's aggressive early and continues to be aggressive throughout, like that game is a little closer rather than just Luka Doncic having to play nearly the entire game because he's the only one showing up early on, right? Austin Reaves, we have to be, whether you love Austin Reaves, hate Austin Reaves, however you feel about Austin Reaves, right? Look, I think Austin Reaves is a very good basketball player. But the last 2 seasons, not counting this season, we've only played 1 game, so I don't want to get too on him yet. But the previous 2 seasons, he has started the seasons very poorly. 2 seasons ago when we had Darvin Ham, shot under 30% from 3-point range. Last season, he began the season shooting 31% from 3-point range. I talked about in the offseason. He needs to be better shooting the 3 ball because he's going to be playing off of Luka Doncic and then when LeBron gets back and stuff like that. So he needs to be a threat out on the perimeter. I'm not saying he has to shoot 50% from 3-point range, but he needs to be more consistent from the 3 ball. He also needs to maintain aggression, right? Needs to be looking for that balance. I thought he had sequences. This is a problem that I've had, and I've talked about this pretty much every season. You look at his stat line, right? It looks great. But if you watch the games, it's usually one or the other. And what I mean by that is usually Austin Reaves is being aggressive and looking for his shot, or he's being aggressive but looking for the pass. And you can almost see it before it's coming, right? By the way that he begins his action, right? Where take Luka for example, right? Luka is looking to be aggressive and score, but if at any moment something opens up, he'll stop and deliver, right? Doesn't get that tunnel vision. Austin Reaves at times there are times where he is balancing that, but it's something he needs to work on. And I mean, again, he's been improving. Like you look at a couple seasons ago, it was blatantly one or the other, right? He has improved in that area, but he needs to continue to improve. He needs to be able to, when he has an idea in his hand, be able to abandon that when something else develops and opens up, right? Don't force the issue. Don't press the issue, right? But he needs to find that better balance, the consistency. Go back, all the videos on the channel for the last few years. What has been my biggest issue with Austin Reaves? The lack of consistency from Reaves, even in game. And that Warriors game was a great example, right? He is terrible to start the game. I mean, he had like 3 turnovers in the first minute and a half or 2 minutes, right? Like he just, again, looked not very prepared to start the game. Then, he kind of is like, whatever. And then kind of just like, all right, like get him off the court. And then boom, big explosion. It literally was like 3 quarters of mediocrity and then boom, here you go. Here's the Austin Reaves we all want come playoff time. Here's the Austin Reaves we want that may be worth the $35 million. But you watch those 3 quarters leading up to that, you're like, this guy's lucky to get the same contract he's on right now, right? It's the consistency, game to game and throughout the course of games. Again, this is something that I've talked about very heavily. And we need to be very critical this season because, again, the Lakers are about to pay him $35+ million. If he had 2 more years at $14 million, don't get me wrong, I'd still be critical to an extent, but it wouldn't be as, severe as it is right now. Because, again, it's like, hey, he's looked at as the guy that we're going to slot alongside Luka Doncic. This is why I said it is good that LeBron is out right now. We're not better without LeBron. We need LeBron James, right? But this is a good kind of test is a good kind of sample size that we're about to get with Luka, Austin Reaves, and DeAndre Ayton. And to see if those guys can coexist, if those three guys really the future of this team, or do we need to kind of revamp, trade Austin Reaves, and we'll see how DeAndre Ayton kind of performs. Again, there were some things that the Warriors just defended the Lakers like they always do. Pack the paint, right? Trust guys can't make threes, which we couldn't, right? And then every time Anthony Davis gets the ball down low, you swarm him and you meet him with 3, 4, 5 guys. What did they do, right? They let guys shoot. Once again, we can't shoot. Every time DeAndre Ayton touched the basketball, he was met with 3, 4 guys, right? And also he was out on the perimeter a lot. Right? So again, I see people that are like, oh, he only had 6 rebounds. Well, again, like the guy, of course he's only going to have 6 rebounds when he's defending out on the perimeter all game, right? So again, we got to work on some things. There's things that need to be corrected. But again, Austin Reaves is supposed to be our second guy. Austin Reaves is supposed to be Luka light. Again, you look at just the stat line, you think, why are we even talking? Austin Reaves was great. Everyone else needs to be better. Not everyone else is about to get $35+ million and is looked at as the second option alongside Luka Doncic long term. Not everybody on this team was atrocious for 3 quarters, and then when we're down 18 decides to wake up, and now it's great, right? Not everyone on this team is, again, supposed to be the other star, right? Like Rui, he's going to have good and bad nights. He's also not about to get $35 million and is looked at as the second option. He's looked at as the 4th, 5th option, right? Like Jake LaRavia is a 23-year-old kid who came in and is looked at to be a rotation player. DeAndre Ayton is looked at as the 4th, 5th option. He's probably not even getting $35 million on his next contract, even if he's fantastic. Austin Reaves is the guy that we are looking at right now as him and Luka Doncic are the 2 guys that we're going to build off of for the next 6 to 8 years or whatever. And those 2 guys are supposed to lead us to the promised land and go win multiple NBA championships. And what we saw yesterday is Luka Doncic can do it. Austin Reaves cannot. And you're now going to have another, even arguably bigger test against a team that made Austin Reaves look pedestrian in the playoffs this last playoffs. Made him look like, a vet minimum player at that point, right? Like, because they match up size-wise, they're athletic, they're physical, right? Austin Reaves is going to have his hands full in this game, and they're going to be on him, and they're going to be in his head, and they're going to be trying to pressure him. We need Austin Reaves to be better and immediately. Talk about it. The difference between, at Austin Reaves and Luka Doncic, outside of just like Luka Doncic is otherworldly, but is stars in general, is consistency. Like the difference between, a superstar, an all-star, a star, a role player, or, a friend star and a role player, right, is the consistency, right? Like most guys, if given the opportunity in the league, even some of these bench guys, right, on other teams and stuff, if given the shot attempts and the opportunity on a regular basis, can give you stat lines, right? Like most guys, every time the Lakers play somebody, there's some random player that has, an Austin Reaves stat line, right? But the difference between him and, a Buddy Hield and a Steph Curry is the consistency and the level that they can consistently be at and get to. Even the greatest players have bad nights. Luka will have bad nights. LeBron has had bad nights. Steph has had bad nights. Giannis, Jokic, you name it, right? Bad nights happen, but they're usually few and far between, right? Where I've talked about, again, look at last season. Austin Reaves is a guy that will have these stretches. And I literally, again, live streams, videos, it's all on film. There would be times where Austin Reaves would have like a 3-game stretch where he was fantastic and everyone would be in my comments like, oh, like, how do you feel? Oh, Tyler, wow, you look foolish. Look at Austin Reaves. And I said, let's wait. Let's give it another game or 2. And then all of a sudden, crickets. Why? Because Austin Reaves would lay a dud. And then he'd lay another dud. And then he'd lay another dud. And then he'd have another 3-game stretch. Giving you 38-8, whatever, right? Like, oh, Tyler, he's back. Let's give it a game or 2. Boom, lay a dud, crickets. Boom, lay a dud, crickets. He has that run at the end of the season. Everyone, oh, see, Tyler, you're just a hater. You just hate Austin Reaves. Let's wait until we see the playoffs. Because you look at last playoffs, he wasn't great. Let's be patient. Hey, talk your talk right now. We're about to find out. What happened? Boom, dud. Crickets. All of a sudden, I don't really get called an Austin Reaves hater anymore. Go watch the videos. Go watch the live streams. All season last year, I was being called an Austin Reaves hater. And I like Austin Reaves. I think Austin Reaves is a very good basketball player. But we have to be honest about Austin Reaves. And we have to be honest more now than ever. Ever. Because, again, Austin Reaves is about to get star level money. He needs to be held to that standard. If he's about to get 35 to 40 million, he needs to be held to a 35 to 40 million dollar standard, not a 14 million dollar standard. Right? So again, we have to be critical. We have to be honest about Austin Reaves. If we get 25 games in the season and he's still not looking that level, you got to trade him. You have to. And it's going to be tough because you're not going to be able to find the value to the level that you need, right? Because his contract is so low, right? So you might not even be able to trade him this season, but in that offseason, you're signing and trading him because you can't pay this man 35 to 40 million to play the way that we saw last night. Again, you look at the box score, he looked great. You actually watched the game, right? I haven't heard one person that watched that game, even Reaves lovers. I mean, did a live stream post game, and even people that I know for a fact are, support Austin Reaves and are usually critical of me when I criticize Austin Reaves. Even they were like, yeah, he was pretty bad. Right? The only people that I see that are like, Austin Reaves was really good last night are the people that didn't actually watch the games and just looked at the box score and was like, Austin Reaves is good. We need Austin Reaves to be better. And I'm going to be very critical of him. You thought I was critical of him last season. Just wait till you see me this season. Because again, he's about to get 35 to 40 million dollars. Right? I hope the Lakers are even more critical than I am. Because he's about to get 35 to 40 million dollars. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. I pass the question to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out. So we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.